Praise the Lord, everybody. Hey, welcome to the message, and thank you for joining me on today. Silence speaks loud. I find it mind-boggling how we look at our world, shake our heads, and go back to business as usual. Our kids are looking for us to teach them about the world they live in. We need to teach them about Christ. That's awesome. But more than teaching them about Christ, we need to teach them about their history. We need to let them know about what's going on the outside of the walls of our houses and our churches. Our kids need to know that there are some who would love to erase the work that our civil rights leaders bled and died to get accomplished. There's some who would love to put us back on the cotton fields, quote unquote. We need to be completely honest with our kids. They are facing a lot now, and they will face a lot in their future. The millenniums don't have to go through what we went through. Use your life as a lesson to them. If you tell them what you went through, they will know, and then it will be up to them to make the proper choices. It's sad that we're in this box that we can't see our way out of. We only deal with what is going on in our little world. We need to come out of our box and see that there are issues we need to fight for. It's not about us anymore. It's about our kids. We need to leave a legacy behind for them long after we fall off the scene. Silence speaks very loud. We have several shootings where we lost kids to gun violence. Recently, a Guns Anywhere bill was passed in Georgia, and I was shocked at the churches who okayed this nonsense. Our places of worship is not a place for guns. I have friends who are okay with it. To each his own. The house of God to me is sacred ground. Guns have no place inside the house of God. I'm speaking out because I believe this is against God's will. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but spiritual. Our fight is with the devil, not the people. We're sending mixed messages to our kids. In one breath, violence is wrong and should be condemned. In another breath, we say, let's have armed church folks in the sanctuary where we worship God and mass money is moved around. Are you serious? What kind of sense does that make? To my pastor friends, again, to each of her own. But guns have no place in the house of God. It's sacred. If we need an armed person, they're to be on the outside of the sanctuary. The house of God, the sanctuary, is the holy of holies, and nothing ungodly, a gun, should come through those doors. We have to return back to true holiness. We got to. What we have done in these last couple of months is absurd. What we let happen in the last 24 hours we ought to be ashamed of ourselves. That Georgia law should have never passed. The church should have stood up and said, not now, not ever. I'm upset because we stood on our hands and did nothing. I put calls and I put emails in, and they went unnoticed. That's sad. It's sad to know that having a gun in a church will make you feel safe. Having a gun in church to me is saying that we don't believe God will protect us. That's what a gun in church is saying to me. A gun in church to me is saying that we don't trust God's protection. We don't believe that He'll protect us. That's what that's saying to me. That we don't have faith and we don't believe in God, that God will protect us from any hurt, harm, and danger. That means we're going to church and perpetrating a straight lie. We're going to church for show, for fashion. I'm speaking truth now, because to me, that's what it feels like we're doing. We're lying. We're lying to God. We don't trust Him. If we trust in Him, we wouldn't have guns in the sanctuary. We wouldn't allow this bill to go past. If we truly trust God, this would not be taking place. Sitting on your hands and not speaking out against the wrong and immorality in our world is giving the devil permission to continue doing his business. It's time to sound off and cry out. No longer can we sit idle by while sin and immorality runs rapid. Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. Enough is enough. Let's get back to true holiness. This is not right. And it's unfortunately, when we have men and women of God, I have to say that I'm not with you on this. Love you dearly, but if we have guns in the church, we're telling God we don't trust Him. We don't trust Him to protect us. That's exactly what we're telling Him. Be blessed.